online and speaking up. It's not for children's safety, it's for their safety. Children are simply a misdirection. Most people are aligned on the idea that kids shouldn't be on porn websites. You don't need to have an argument about this. Most people agree on this. The problem is whenever, well, I mean, I'll play the video. I think, there it is.
Welcome back, guys. Hope you've been having a great weekend. Unfortunately, though, we've got a number of very disturbing updates to go over in this video regarding the ongoing situation with various governments trying to invade your privacy, censor you, change the internet for the worse. You know, all the sort of stuff we've been talking about for about the last week.
Well, they've already been censoring people, and they've already, people didn't have privacy to begin with. And now it's going to be even more extreme with every single website having to do it individually, which is going to cause so many problems.
As it's still getting worse, unfortunately. Now, I've got this wonderful little graph here on screen from the account Skybytes, or excuse me, SK Bytes. And this is just like a quick prelude of stuff that's been going on leading up to this. It's a very, very brief recap. Then we'll get into all the new stuff, and I'll show you that in no specific order. I've got like 8 different things that, as mentioned, are all very disturbing. So before we get into that, let's just read this real quick. The graphic says, George Orwell was right. It's happening. Legal speech is now, quote-unquote, harmless. Platforms forced to censor you or face ruin. Age checks equal surveillance.
By the way, surveillance and digital ID, they already have surveillance and digital ID. The real problem isn't the age checks. The real problem is the government using the information to prosecute you based off of speech logs. That's the real enemy. YouTube isn't your enemy. Spotify isn't your enemy. The government is the enemy. They are the ones that are trying to control what you say, and they are the ones that are making these companies do this. Do you think YouTube wants to maintain the release of everybody's fucking driver's license? Why the fuck would they want to do that? No, they don't want to do that. They don't want to deal with any of this, because if they did, they would have done it earlier. The only reason why they do it is because they have to sell it. Well, they're not even selling it. You gotta shoot. That's the thing. They don't need to, they have a million other levels of data that they sell. They don't need that. They already have that data for your analytics to begin with.
Instant digital ID, privacy crushed, dissent deleted. They're not banning ideas outright, they're programming the machines to erase them silently. The government has handed itself the power to get thought. This is no longer democracy.
This is democracy. This is democracy. I think the problem is that this makes the laws more of a direct threat rather than this just looming presence that people are worried about. Because now you have these laws that are directly in front of the public. Everybody can see it. It's right there.
Censorship? Full dictatorship. Yeah, there is full. But hey, it's in this stuff. So let's start with this clip that I saw posted by the account Skeletor, showing this member of the UN, Antonio Guterres, or however you say that. Obviously, you can see the quality's pretty low, but what's important is what he's saying. So let's play a 30-second clip. Yeah, this is quite an interesting clip.
Digital platforms are being misused to subvert science and spread disinformation and hate to billions of internet.
It's not about spreading disinformation. It's about spreading information and hate against him and people on the same. That's never extermination. This is not about kids. It is never about kids.
Clear and present global threat demands clear and coordinated global policy brief on information integrity on digital platforms puts forward the framework for a concerned international response.
So we've got this member of the UN using this rhetoric to try and justify what various governments seem to be doing with the internet, saying one of these digital platforms are just used to subvert science and spread disinformation and hate. All rhetoric as mentioned that they're just totally fine.
Okay. That's totally alright. First Amendment.
Your powers and might!
Us against the world!
Watch me
That's what I
officer, free speech, in days of privacy.
I don't want to listen to some fucking international bureaucrat try to dictate to me what my fucking laws should be.
Police, whatever they deem as quote-unquote wrong thing, you know, I don't need this. Surely this. And who exactly is this guy, Antonio Guterres? Well, the first paragraph of Wikipedia is all the reading on this guy, but it says, Portuguese politician and diplomat who was serving as the 9th and current Secretary General of the United Nations in 2017. A member of the Portuguese Socialist Party, Guterres served as the Prime Minister of Portugal from 1995 to 2000. This week's movement goes on to detail with the video clip we're going to watch.
Maximum pulse!
Okay, so the police squad, the one that we mentioned the other day. When we read this article, which I'll just read the headline.
Police squad to monitor anti-migrant posts on social media.
Vehicle reached a checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
It's gonna get real bad. It's gonna get real bad.
Now, all that said, elite police squad to monitor anti-migrant posts on social media. And you can reasonably presume this is the exact sort of quote-unquote hate speech that Mr. Guterres was referring to in the UN speech and stuff that we watched a moment ago. How dare you criticize these policies? You're not allowed to do that. You might get a knock on your door.
You get a webbit.
No, I'm
You
not
get
kidding.
a webbit.
That
You
seems
get
to
a
be what
webbit.
happened to Samantha. As she says, I went on TV to discuss accidentally my labor and hometown in Telford. The next day, officers banged on my door, wanting to shut me up for exposing them. With the Online Safety Act now in force, no one is safe.
No. This has nothing to do with the online safety. They would have found this information without it.
Heaven my step.
Because it was easy for them to do. You don't need the Online Safety Act to do this. They could have already done it before.
Happened to me. It can happen to anyone.
Child! I came off fantastic.
Yeah, they've prosecuted the people for this for years. So obviously this new act that just happened clearly isn't the intent. Clearly this didn't cause that to happen.
Almost there. Don't turn back. Really by the support and outreach that I received from those that up to 1,000 girls have been reported to have been abused as by grooming gangs since 1980. All those that have no idea that it could potentially
Your powers are mine!
I was back home. I went back to Telford and the next day around lunchtime, two police officers on my door demanding the fact that it's about my interview.
Really? So the police who have done nothing
Vehicle reached a
for the
checkpoint.
entire
Keep up the
third
momentum.
millennium to date, suddenly aroused activity by using on television.
Yeah, they told me that they had gone round to all of the addresses they had on file for me. They had gone to previous home addresses, the different...
They're trying to make her afraid of speaking out against it, and they're trying to push her into being quiet. Because maybe she hasn't completely broken the law, but she's done things that put the narrative at risk. So because they can't actually arrest her because of breaking the law, they just have to resort to intimidating her with the use of the police and the military, or probably militarized police. That's basically what's happening, right? So they can't put you in jail, but they can scare the shit out of you. They call it the non-crime hate incident.
Accommodations that I'd say that was for me. They chased me, they chased me down, they tracked
course
me,
they will.
banged on my door,
Again, like the government's not smart. They're going to
knock on me on the door of the perpetrator, potential criminal. I was on the state at the time that said to me afterwards, I genuinely thought you were going to get arrested from the way that they were talking to you.
Of course, they try to steal.
You would think that they would be protecting people who would be trying to discourage the grooming. Should want to protect people,
I am ready to put on a show!
but in some sort of twisted form. Apparently,
Maximum pulse!
They told me that when you go onto the news and talk
curious why that is.
That's not actually true, is it?
Yeah.
The police are, among other things, lying to you.
It's funny, I said to them at the time, it was funny that they did absolutely nothing to bring my accusers to justice, but when I went on national TV,
Us against the world.
Talked about the industrial scale of failings and their inaction in bringing to justice the perpetrators of violent sex crimes and helpless, that they are suddenly spurred into action to come and knock on my door
The thing is that they know women speak out about changes in cultural norms, and it makes the migrants no longer the downtrodden masses that they can take advantage of people's emotions to justify bringing into the country. So what they are the most afraid of is women speaking out and sharing their stories about being, you know, like assaulted or harassed or anything like that. Because if they do that, and then people see that this is happening, the entire foundation of the lie that they've created falls apart. That's the reason why. And they're terrified of that foundation cracking. And so as soon as people realize that actually, no, these people are not, you know, these super misunderstood groups of people, and they're actually, in some cases, bad actors, not all of them, obviously, but some of them are. And if you don't hold the ones that are bad accountable, people will assume that they're all bad. And that's what's happening.
These big butch coppers being so insecure.
Now arrest the police who help the gangs now? As I said, I think that eventually there will be enough people in the UK that are tired and upset about this. And I do think that what will happen is that the anti-immigrant sentiment will become so large that it will create a majority inside of the government, and they will be able to enact policy. And I think when that happens, that policy and the people that now are trying to suppress everybody talking about these grooming gangs, etc., these people will be lucky if they are alive. That's what's going to happen. They'll show no mercy? Yes. I guarantee you that the people that will take over and the people that do this will be absolutely fucking brutal. Protests have started already. That's
People want to be led, I want to be in charge.
Like, trust me. Again, they're still saying
30 seconds before you
wait
attack.
till they start
Get
saying
ready.
Singston, because that's what's next. And it would have never gotten to this point if they had treated the people who had reservations about migration seriously, instead of calling them racist and banning them off of social media and putting them in jail. It would have never gotten to this point.
That you going on TV and criticizing them can drive them into action that they otherwise haven't taken.
Help get that vehicle to its destination.
Rebuild the space time continuum and defeat two Dr. Dooms?
Well, obviously somebody who's with the government. And to be clear, it's bad, it's going to happen, but it's still bad. Of course this is bad. Yeah, tons of innocent people are going to be hurt by this. On both sides. Tons of them are. And this is going to be awful. And it's a problem. It's a complete unforced error by the government.
That's what no idea. I know that there was two police officers from the CSC team that knocked on my door. They said they had been working for the force for a year and 6 months already, and they were quote unquote.
I think another great example of this is like you look at Alligator Alcatraz, where you have the president of the United States that just says, yeah, we're going to let illegal aliens get eaten by alligators and die.
Almost there. Don't turn back
And everybody's like, yeah, based. True. Great. Awesome. He won the popular vote.
I lead the herd.
Vehicle reached the checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
Now it gets you elected. Imagine where we're going to be 10 years from now.
I make difference.
No way. As if it wasn't bad enough. I mean, that's silly. I can't believe that. Oh, we're trying to make a difference here. How dare you speak against this stuff? You're not helping anyone. We're the ones trying to make a difference. You gotta be kidding me, dude.
What difference they were making by going after a victim rather than the
Somebody said let them get eaten by alligators. Somebody was interviewed and he said, well, so like is the idea that if they escape they'll get attacked by alligators? And he says like, yeah, I guess that's kind of the idea, yeah. Yeah, like he did.
Faces. I missed seeing you in action, Logan. Grooming and
Oh yeah, sure.
You're halfway there. Keep going.
Well,
for decades.
Absolutely insane. Of course, there is so much that can be said about that. It is just vastly disturbing. And my apologies for having to cut some of that. You probably saw the disclaimers I put on screen for a very brief portion of that. But he, as mentioned, did go into further detail about these disgusting crimes. And yeah, the worst possible stuff that can happen to women and children. And that sort of stuff he's talking about that day. That takes us to the next part of the video. Getting more and more desperate. This account right here, Alex Armstrong saying it's stoked. Ofcom, Office Communications, are paying influencers to spread propaganda about the Online Safety Act in the UK.
What?
Orwell's 1984 isn't just here. It's what? Thank you to Dr. Hoenderkamp for bringing this to my attention. And I gotta say, like, before I can even read this, if you're an influencer accepting this money and doing this, I mean, just pathetic beyond. So, go down and say,
Where does it say paid advertising? Of course it says.
Shows this Instagram account. It reads, as of the 25th of July, anyone trying to access adult content online will have to prove they are over 18. This is not to ruin anyone's fun, but it's about time that children are protected online.
My skeptic inside of me makes me think that is the advertising for that, or is it for the can of soda that she told me? Is that explained in the video?
Maximum
Like, I'm not convinced by this. Yeah, I'm sorry, but like this isn't. It's not convincing enough.
There is an enormous amount of content out there, but some of it is content that is made for adults and not children. This is just the start of trying to make it into a safer place. This era, which was cut off from text, this is advertising. So, yeah.
I am ready to put on a
This is all
show.
through on a dog screenshot, which I mean, I don't think it is, but you know, it's this thing I'm saying. Assuming this is all true.
us against the world.
Somebody have to find the post and show me. But it looks like, and you can see that this girl is advertising all kinds of products all the time.
Berserker!
I don't think that we can say with certainty that her doing this advertisement was actually by this company. I think this is people looking for something, and they're looking so hard that they've made it up themselves. I don't. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I would not. I don't trust this yet.
Maximum!
Like, I couldn't imagine a person that would take money to promote this nonsense, to stand up for this corruption, and to gaslight your own followers about it, to take the money and push it on your followers to try and spread the agenda of these corrupt politicians. I mean, I don't know how someone could possibly ever be okay with that. And it goes without saying, of course, yeah, I agree with that too. Yeah, it's all around, as mentioned, a really pathetic thing. Then I also saw this tweet about the Labour government in Australia and this app called Signal app, which is apparently a very popular messaging app in Australia. I've never heard of it before. If this is like popular around the world, I guess I'm just out of the loop. But the tweet reads from Integrity. Breaking, Labour government demands backdoors into encrypted messaging apps. Whittaker, Signal app's president, said they would exit Australia before giving access. The quote being,
I think that every single company should obviously have to follow the law, and they should have to like give every information away if it's asked to by a judge. Just because a website had So Ethan in his fucking what's the word for it? I'm trying to think. Crusade against these people is going absolutely apeshit about this. So he's been suing them, and here we go. It's a crusade.
Pick your
So
hero.
let's go ahead and
villain.
start with
I'm not
Frogie. Of
judging.
course, I've got my PP. Now it's the same PP, but I'm going to do it differently and do it kind of special for you guys. So
Frogan
this
gives
is a very
up.
special PP because it's live. So let's talk about it. Frogan is literally about to fall early next week.
Hear my
What has she done with the 50K she raised? What have we? What? We have not heard from her or her attorney at all.
What a flop.
He has like 5 days to respond to our complaint, or she loses by default.
She
And this was last time.
Wow.
And this was last time. So it's
must
probably down
protect
to 40.
mutants, but also all
Probably
of
down to 40.
humanity.
So this came. So after this came from Ethan. So this is from Ethan, right?
30 seconds before you
This was
attack.
the snarker.
Get ready.
And this is one of the most legally inaccurate takes.
Every time I see you, I think to myself.
That's one of the most legally
Wow, what a surprise. A Redditor doesn't know what they're talking about. Can you believe that?
inaccurate takes.
I don't mean it
ever.
that way.
Okay.
You just
This
know
is
No
it's
way.
for a lot of people.
Can't wait to see the case
Ethan
to
with scorched earth.
It's gonna get worse.
The battle starts in 5,
miss
4,
after Fro.
3,
What is she like?
2,
First of all,
1.
who calls her Fro?
All you
Like
need to do
when
is
I hear
capture the
them call her
mission area.
Fro,
Got
it
it?
sounds like she's Froyo. Okay?
I'm not
like
sure
I
my
can't
train
That ice
not
cream
think
shit?
she's
saved
frozen
the
yogurt.
multiverse
So let's get into it. After Fro files a motion to quash after being improperly served. This dude is such
I never, ever eat that. Like, there was some like rich white people area that my ex-girlfriend wanted me to go to, and she wanted me to buy her one. I refused.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
an idiot. He has all of his money and doesn't know what to do with it, so therefore the power of a lawyer is just taking it from him. Oh. This is really funny. Okay, well, first of all,
This dude is such an idiot. He has all the money and doesn't know what to do with it, therefore his quack of a
I am no
lawyer.
golden
Oh, God.
let's correct the
I am
record.
simply a man who wishes to use
All
his
lawyers,
power for good.
all lawyers are greedy, money-sucking,
That's right.
soulless.
Whenever I heard this, this is why I wanted to go to law school.
Quacks. No, they're all
Yeah.
crazy in the special way. All lawyers are just crazy in a special way. But beyond that,
Yeah, as soon as I realized that,
really inaccurate
yeah.
and completely wrong. And I'm going to explain how this is just completely wrong. So,
I'm here because I played Magic the Gathering.
Us against the world.
My friend Jason knew all the rules so well that he could manipulate the rules to make himself win in disputes where he shouldn't have won. But I couldn't argue against it because I didn't know the rules as well as him. And so I thought that if I could learn the legal code, I could manipulate people in the world in a way that he could manipulate the gathering, and it would give me an advantage.
Your team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
It's kind of cool. Because you know the rules for life, you use them and abuse them.
first of all, let's explain what a default judgment is. Okay? Default judgment is a court ruling in favor of the plaintiff, typically because the defendant does not offend or the defendant doesn't acknowledge the claim. So, you know, if you just want to stick your head in the sand and pretend you don't know what's going on, you're likely going to get a default judgment. Now,
So it's not like it's even going to get thrown out. The only person that's going to get thrown out is from assistance, please.
thing.
Yeah.
However,
That's why they have
in this case, Ethan Klein has multiple methods. You can obviously have what we call hand deliveries when you're hand service. But there's also service by publication. You can publish it in a newspaper journal circulation. That's right. That can generally get back and serve the service. And beyond that,
she
we
acknowledged it. She should have never acknowledged it.
all know that Frogan knows about this lawsuit.
Of course.
Like, it's not something that Frogan doesn't know about. It's very public. So it's very clear what's going on here to a judge. That Frogan is trying to dodge.
Shooting circles.
Frogan is trying
I will
to
bring
get
peace
right?
to this universe, no
And
matter the
Ethan
cost.
Klein,
She knows
who-
that. Everybody knows
Power
that.
is a great
this
gift.
default judgment,
It
this
must
court
be
ruling in
used
favor of
wisely.
plaintiff, he would win without Frogan ever having a chance to assert
30
defense.
seconds
So
before you attack. Get
Frogan,
ready.
even if she gets this default judgment, so even if the
Hey, Dandy.
court
First
ends up
time. You two are
ultimately
usually
siding with
inseparable.
Ethan
That
Klein
hasn't
and saying, hey,
changed.
default
In
judgment.
fact,
And remember,
we're closer than
with the
ever.
default judgment,
Whether we
that
like it or
isn't
not.
a win for
guys
Klein.
sharing a studio
He
in Hell's
gets what he
Kitchen now?
wants. So he'll get damages, whatever else
It's
he
like if
wants.
your team
It's
quits the
actually
game
a
in the
bit more
middle of a match.
complicated than that.
You still win the
Jumping,
match.
Battle
so
starts
video,
in
whatever he
five,
wants. He's
Yeah.
going to get that by
4,
default. There you
3,
go. Oh, this
2,
person's not
1.
fighting back, so okay. And then he
All
can
you need to do
proceed,
is
if she
capture the
doesn't
mission
do
area.
anything,
Got it?
she can proceed to
If
collecting on
these
that judgment
worlds
at a
come
certain
apart,
point.
countless
However,
people will die.
I
I must
Yogi
stop it.
does have a potential opportunity to challenge the default judgment.
Of
and she
course.
does that with an objection which is a motion to set aside. So she can make a motion to set aside the default judgment. Your powers are mine! So, not receiving the claim
You set up a GoFundMe. You talked about it. That is not going to happen.
If the service, all types of service is inbound, but I guarantee you that at least one type of service that they use on this, whether it's hand delivery or publication, or service was legally sufficient to provide notice of service or sufficient service to proceed with the case. They're not going to issue the default judgment typically if there was completely bumped service. But the burden would be on Frozen to prove that. And beyond that,
there's no way she can prove that, especially if he said it and she acknowledged it the entire time.
You'd have to have something like extreme emergency. And as far as we know, only Frozen is not under extreme emergency. Frozen was not in a crisis zone.
Right? She is. I mean, the Lens probably do, and that's not going so well, I would assume. But she does have that extra $35,000, so maybe things will be okay.
Mistakes again.
She's not somewhere where bad stuff is going down.
Yeah, sure.
Right? And or she have to prove a procedural error.
Unless the judge is sympathetic to Rogan. What do you think? Do you think the judges are going to be sympathetic to Rogan?
Right? However, she has to respond to these, and that response has to be very prompt and persuasive. So she has to do that anyway.
Ooh, that's
so she's going to have no right before and explain why she did not respond before, etc. And the judge is not obliged to accept
By the eye of Agamotto!
Now, here's the biggest thing. And here's where the snarkers are completely wrong.
Your powers are mine!
So you're telling me that a bunch of random redditors with no degree or any sort of knowledge in this topic whatsoever actually don't know what they're talking about? There's no way! This might be the first time that's happened.
Stupid. Is even
what?
Even if the judge grants her motion, if everything goes the same way, you know what the end result is?
She's paying.
You know what the end result?
That's the end result.
Is? It's not the case being dropped, kids. It's the case proceeding as normal.
Man.
So if Rogan goes through all this extra work, all she's gonna do
is make it happen anyway.
Have the case. Literally, somebody in the chat said it. Who said it here? Square one. It's back at square one. Congratulations, Rogan. You literally did nothing. You do all this
right
work
heroes
for
could make
frickin'
all the
nothing.
difference.
Wow, Queen. Wow. So smart. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Sigma. Right. We're just going crazy here. We're just going. It was completely bunk service, but the burden would be on Frogie to prove that. And beyond that,
there's no way she can prove that, especially if he said it and she acknowledged it the entire time.
You'd have to have something like illness or extreme emergency. And as far as we know, only Frogen is not in the hospital. Frogen is not under extreme emergency. Frogen was not in a crisis zone.
Hear my command. I mean, the rent's probably due, and that's not going so well, I would assume. But she does have that extra $35,000, so maybe things will be okay.
I have made it a reality.
She's not somewhere where bad stuff is going down.
Yeah, surely.
Right? And or she has to prove a procedural error.
Unless the judge is sympathetic to Frogan. What do you think? Do you think the judges are going to be sympathetic to Frogan?
Right? However, she has to respond to do this. And that response has to be very prompt and persuasive. So she has to do that anyway.
That's just she's going to have to go back
when all this is
right
over,
before and explain why she did not respond before, etc. And the judge is not obliged to accept that. The judge will say, I don't accept it. We'll stick with the default. Here's the biggest thing. And here's where the snarkers are completely wrong. This is where the snarkers are completely wrong.
Wait, so are you telling me that a bunch of random redditors with no degree or any sort of knowledge in this topic whatsoever actually don't know what they're talking about? There's no way! This might be the first time that's happened.
Stupid. Even if Frogan objects to the default, and even if the judge grants her motion, if everything goes the same way. You know what the end result is?
She's paying
You know what the
so
end result
easily.
That's the end result.
is? It's not the case being dropped, kids. It's the case proceeding as normal.
Man.
Okay, go through all this extra work. All this extra work. All she's gonna do
Is make it happen anyway.
have the case. Literally, somebody in the chat said it here. Square one. It's back at square one. Congratulations, Rogan. You literally did nothing. You do all this work for freaking nothing. Wow, Queen. Wow. So smart. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Slay.
Right. We're just going crazy. We're just going crazy. But let's also talk about money.
Uh-oh.
So here's our lovely Krogan. And she's got, her legal defense fund, I think, planned 35K. She also had other donations from other places. So I believe,
$35,000. That's a lot of money. Oh, her goal was $200,000 then. Oh, okay, never mind. Not so good, huh?
Okay. He's tracking as close as I am, so let's just assume that 50K, but, she's got at least 35K here. But she had this legal defense fund, and my concern is, what about the money? What did you do with the cash? What did you do with the cash?
Where's the money, Lebowski?
Spending all that money on the lawsuit. And so the question is,
Tremble before fast!
where is that money going?
You are under my protection.
Supernova!
Where is that money going from? Is that going to your muffin budget?
Tremble
Because
before fast!
it's certainly not going into responding to
My
the claims.
power cannot be quelled. By
Right?
the eye of Agamotto!
Certainly not going to respond to the claims. And what happens if the funds were diverted
You
for
are
purposes
under my
other than legal defense? Possible crime. That is a possible crime.
It's obviously. Yeah, I mean, you're raising money for something and then you don't even spend money. Like, yeah, you're
Might be a good time to stop them.
That's like
not
that's
right. It ain't
false
right.
pretenses, fraud,
always
theft
rise
fraud,
again.
also wire fraud. So we're talking about potential theft or fraud. Did it go
So
into
what
an
if she raises? Wait a minute. So are we in a universe where if by her raising
stop that
money for this legal defense, and then she doesn't actually meet it
here
and
they are
defend
now.
herself, she could actually end up losing two court cases at the same time.
I feel like
So, for, the Nuts Taku video is going to be, Krogan is now 200% fucked.
Nope.
And for once, he'd be right.
We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. Once again, this is speculation.
Yeah.
This is speculation. So out there, let me be very clear. Nobody is speculating. It's a question I'm asking. And I don't know. And you need to know where's the money from. What are you doing? The other thing is, if she was misdirecting these funds, she could be fined.
Magneto!
The minimum money
I feel like myself
She loses the lawsuit against the DP, and she also gets in trouble for fraud.
Tremble before
I
fast!
don't think I can take this much money.
can even be prison. So we need to figure out what's going on with that
There's
money.
no way.
This was the language last night. Tell me if we changed this language. Because
You are under my protection.
I highlighted this, and this is what was up last night, as of last night. Okay? So after 2 years of target harassment campaign against me, Ethan Klein has now escalated it into suing me for reacting to his video on Hassan and myself on his video titled Content Nude Hassan Tyson. This fundraiser to cover any and all legal fees associated with this complaint and any counterclaims I have against him. So stop there. So far, she
clearly states what it's for. She says this is what this fundraiser is for.
Supernova!
Not Mafia stuff. It is not Mafia.
So now here's the part where I might get into some debate. This next part, the part I underlined. She
Personal
puts
expenses.
any
I shall not
other
be
bills,
removed so
other
easily.
bills, and personal
Don't give them another inch. Or
expenses.
else.
Personal expenses. So she's gonna argue, oh, I can put food under that.
By the eye of Agamotto!
And there's like 50 Labubus behind.
He's a sociopath, but the man gets results.
You stopped them in their tracks.
Hurt me.
I can put makeup under that because I need to look pretty for litigation.
Bro,
I can do all this sort of stuff. That's a personal expense. I can pay for like 22 layers of cover up. Right? Yeah. Under personal expense. That's a personal.
Fire!
But the problem is, and then the rest is from lost wages and damages arising from this litigation.
Yes.
Well, the question is, when you have arising from, if you're not participating in the litigation, if you're not fighting back, there's no litigation to speak of. Therefore, it's not arising from.
You are
Us against the world.
Keep fucking down. Fucking got you. There it is. That's grammar. That's right.
Litigation. So despite the fact that personal expenses is here, and that might be valid, it's in connection with litigation. It's not personal expenses for her to go on a personal trip, right? For her to go buy a salmon or whatever, Chipotle. It's not for any of that.
I shall not be removed so easily.
So
Yeah.
that is a
Is that right?
situation where she may have some trouble. All right, so let's get into dinner. Let's go do
Portal, but to where?
even though she's distant.
You stopped them in their tracks.
Discovery matter. It's an order granting a stipulation for the plaintiff, that's in compliance, to serve third-party subpoenas prior to the Rule 26F conference. So this is literally,
You are under my protection.
as a reminder,
But the man gets
disloyal
results.
Denims literally betrayed the Reddit mods. She stabbed them in the back.
That's right. She roached out on all of them. I forgot all about this.
Refused to defend them at all.
That's right.
She completely sacrificed them to the corn in order to get this moving along.
A nice
Right.
deep freeze.
And she gave up all of their information. She said, you know what? Subpoena them,
Only
you get all
60
their
seconds
information.
left.
Wow. See, this is what I was saying, bro. When the well runs dry, the people begin to eat each other. And as soon as famine strikes, as soon as there's trouble in paradise, suddenly all of the solidarity instantly disappears, and it's every man for himself.
That's Dana. That's the type of girl she is. Once again, this is why these people are going to fold like a sack. They are loyalty for each other. They don't care for each other at all. All of this for one big community, with one big proletariat. That falls apart. When push comes to shove.
What is it? Wow. What a surprise.
When push comes to shove. They're pushing each other in front of fire.
Oh my god. I won. It doesn't get better.
Well, you can't expect to win them all.
Right. They're pushing each other in front of the firing squad. And we see this with them.
Unreal. He's going
Upon consideration of the joint stipulation, granting plaintiff leave to serve third-party subpoenas prior to the Rule 26F conference, plaintiff TEDx Entertainment, TEDx Inc., and defendant Alexandra Marwa Saber, PK Denims, Dirty Denims, And for good cause shown, the court hereby rules as follows. The stipulation is granted.
Wow.
TEI, that's Ethan Klein, may immediately serve the subpoena attached as Exhibit A to the stipulation on the third-party Reddit, that's so Reddit in general, accompanied by this order, and shall include the date of the Reddit subpoena.